Hello and welcome to Strong and Curious. Today's another episode in the segment of Curious About Culture. In this episode, we talked about Nigerian culture and unusual traditions like spraying money at funerals, the fact that you have to shave your head to go to school, racism in Korea and Spain, and so much more. Enjoy. To start off, here are a few fun facts about the country. Nigeria is a country located in West Africa known for its diverse ethnic groups and cultures. The country is home for over 250 ethnic groups, with the largest being the Hausa Fulani, Yoruba, and Igbo. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa with over 200 million people. Nigeria is home to the second largest film industry in the world, known as Nollywood, right after Bollywood, but still before Hollywood. Half of the entire Nigerian population is aged under 19 years old. Nigeria has over 500 languages, making it one of the most linguistically diverse countries in the world. My guest today is the magnificent Danna, who grew up in Nigeria and Spain. She's also an exchange student here at Hanyang University, and we're going to talk about life in Nigeria. Enjoy.
I was born in Nigeria. I lived there for like 6-7 years.
Okay.
Then I moved to Spain. I was raised in Spain. Like my education was basically there, but I had like a large community of like Nigerians.
Okay.
And then me and my family, we moved to the UK to live. But I just studied in Spain. Like I went back to Spain to study.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you live alone in Spain, or do you have some family there?
I live with my aunties.
Okay.
Yeah, uncles, aunties.
Yeah. Nice. So do you have a big family?
Yeah. It's quite. I don't even know most of my my cousins.
Yeah.
You know, like when we have like a family dinner or something, my mom would be like, "Oh, is your cousin by the way?" I'm like, "Oh, no shit."
Yeah. Okay. I only have 2 cousins.
Oh, lucky, because like I have cousins from mother's side, from father's side, from aunt's side. It's like, how many cousins do I have? I'm like, oh. I had like 11 brothers, so you can make the math.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. My mom comes from like a large family. So I think that's the reason I have a lot of cousins. Yeah.
When you arrived here in Korea, what was the thing that like surprised you the most in terms of like culture or customs?
Well, I wasn't that surprised, to be fair, because I watched a lot of K-drama, Asian movies, so I was expecting it, like, oh, Korea is like this.
Okay.
And I watched YouTube videos of like Black, Asian, or Black people being in Korea, so I was like expecting what they say, like my mind was like open-minded, like, oh, I'll be able to see anything here. Yeah. So I wasn't that surprised, but what I did like find curious is like in the metro, like subway, there's like a seat for like pregnant women. Yeah. So normally there's like for elderly when you're like disabled, stuff like that. But there's like a specific pink chair for like pregnant women. I'm like, oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, they also have, I don't know if you knew this, do you drive the bus at all?
I'm scared of the bus here.
Really?
They drive really roughly.
Yeah, they drive like assholes.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, if I can avoid it, I'm gonna avoid it. But yeah, I've drove the bus.
Okay, yeah, just one thing that I was astonished by when I got here was because it was still cold and they have heated benches. I mean, in the stations outside, not in the bus itself, but when you wait for the bus outside, the benches are heated. Oh,
I saw that. Is it like the capsule in outside?
Not even that. The open stations, just the bench itself is heated.
Oh, I have to look for that.
Yeah, that's just very nice. So, let's talk about Nigerian culture.
Okay.
So, what languages do you speak in Nigeria?
I mean, there's a lot of language. I can't even like count them because like there's a lot of tribes. So they speak different dialects, languages inside there. But the like most international language is English because like, UK was the one. So we do speak English, but
Mhm.
most of them does not speak English.
Okay.
So they speak like broken.
Yeah.
It's like
Just
pidgin.
enough to like get by.
It's like English,
Mm-hmm.
but it's broken, like bad speaking
Yeah.
English. So they call it broken. It's a
Ah.
little bit different than English,
Okay.
because like when they speak it, it's like really different. Like
Okay.
you say like how are you, right?
Yeah.
Are you there?
Oh,
You see
really?
the difference there?
Yeah.
It's like how you there. It's like
Ah.
really
Okay.
bad speaking English. So they do speak that there. And then within the tribes, they speak like Igbo, Ishan,
Mm.
Yoruba, and mine is Bini.
Bini.
Yeah,
Okay.
also known as Edo.
Okay. So is that the name of the language or also
The
the tribe?
language and the tribes.
Okay.
There's not like the UK speak English. No, it's like Nigerian. Then there's Igbo, Yoruba, and that's like the name of the tribe and the language you speak.
Okay.
There's not like a specific name for that.
Okay. All right. So do you speak besides English also your tribe's language?
I mean, I speak English, broken, that's like pidgin, and I do understand Bini, but I don't speak it.
Okay.
Because like whenever my mom speaks to me, I'm like replying in English. I didn't like bother to like reply in Bini because it's like really hard for me. But yeah, I do understand all of it, but I just can't speak it. So that's the thing with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. I found that there's a ton of different ethnic groups so with all the tribes and stuff and all the diversity that there's in Nigeria. So, what are like the classic greetings? Like, for example, in your tribe, how do you say hello? Do you like wave or do you do a handshake? How do you say hello?
For the elders, like between youngers, like youth, we do just like say hi or greet with our hands.
Yeah.
Or hug or whatever the junks do nowadays. But when it's times for like elderly, we do approach them with a bow.
Okay.
Like you bow down. You don't have to like actually bow all your upper body.
Yeah.
Or like Koreans, like when they
just
bow
the
down.
sympathy bow.
Yeah, that's what we
Okay.
do. And we have to like add a ma or sa at the end. Like good morning, sir. And you bow down.
Okay.
And even to your parents, like elderlies, you have to greet them that way to show them respect.
Okay.
If you don't do that, it's just like disrespectful.
Yeah.
And you don't do that.
Okay. I also found that I don't know to which tribe that belongs to that, but that actually some tribes would lay down as a sign of respect.
Ishan.
Yeah.
Ishan, that's the tribe.
Okay.
I think like Asians does like lay down, like actually lay down at the ground.
But like full on
on
lay
the ground.
on your stomach?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what they used to do back in the old days. They don't do
Okay.
that anymore.
Okay.
Or where they lean down on their feet to like greet. Or like the princess bowing. Like ladies do that while the man lay down on the like in the stomach on the floor. So that was like most because like we had kings, queens, and stuff like that. So when you approach them as an elderly or as a senior to you, you had to greet them at that way.
Okay.
But I don't think they do that anymore. They just like bow down a little bit just to show respect.
Yeah. What about customs in eating? Is there like some traditions, like because some cultures they would either like pray or do some ritual or something before eating?
Yeah, we do that. Like cause like we are Christians, so before eating we pray. So it's just like a short prayer before eating. And yeah, that's basically what we do before eating. There's no like a ritual or something like that. No, we just all pray, or some don't pray at all. And yeah, depends on the meal, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, what I find so peculiar, like when my mom explained it to me, like when you're eating in a group, you have to like reserve the best seats for the elder. You kind of like sit wherever you want, just like give the best seats to the elder, and you can't start eating without the elder starting eating.
Okay.
That's in my tribe though. Like in Benin, that's what they do. Okay. So I was like, oh really?
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Because I did an exchange year in the U.S. And there it was really. It seemed like there is not much of any custom. They just sit down and eat, and they don't even wait for the rest. And in Switzerland, the custom would just be you wait until everybody's seated and everybody has their food. Like also in a restaurant, when somebody gets the food first, you wait until everybody has it. Yeah. And then you say eguite, which means like enjoy your meal, basically.
Oh, and then you eat. No, we do like. Yeah, that's cool, but we don't do that. We just like
cultural
because like we eat in the same plates normally. Like it's not like everybody has their own dishes.
Oh, okay,
we just like it's a really big meal. Yeah. You know, when it turns to like I don't know if you know what's puree or badenyam. Most people know it as fufu. You know.
Tell me, what is it?
Can I show you a picture?
Yeah, of course.
It's is a powder made of yam. Do you know what's yam?
Yeah.
So it's a powder made of yam, and they like boil the water and make it like mass, and then they eat it with stew. So we all eat from the same plates. Okay. Mostly.
So is it like similar to here in Korea, with how they have like several plates in the middle that everybody kind of shares, but nobody has like a real like a plate for themselves. It's just you share.
Kind of. But it's not the same because like we don't take a little bit and put it in our plate. No, we all eat in the same plates.
Oh, okay.
So right. This is like fufu, you know. Okay. So we normally eat that. That's like our main dish.
Okay.
And then there's like fried rice, jollof rice. You know the beef between Ghanaian jollof rice and Nigerian jollof rice.
No.
It's dumb, but like we're like brotherhoods, you know, when like, oh no, mine is better. No, mine is better. So it's just like a beef between us, like, oh no, Ghana jollof is best. No, Nigeria jollof is the best. Okay. So there's like that type of thing. But like I think nowadays we don't eat at the same plate. We just like have our own separate dishes. Yeah. You know. Okay. But it's the same food, just like we separate them. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Do you know, like, are there any specific or like special traditions in Nigeria that like a European wouldn't know of?
Oh, weddings. I told you about that. The weddings are basically Europeans make one wedding or one big wedding and that's it, right? We do 3 weddings.
How should I imagine it? Like on 3 separate days, or how does it happen?
It's mostly like a week wedding, you know. So there's the traditional wedding where there is mostly for the family. So like you unite the 2 family. Yeah. And the bride normally wear red.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. And it's just like a traditional wearing. Yeah. And they receive the blessing of the parents. Okay. And there's normally the bride price where the man give like money or food or like yacht. Is it like a boundary? I don't know what's it.
Bounty.
A bounty. Like when you give something to the family for.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't know where the
word.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. It's like earlier, it was like long ago. It was like when you had to give like goats and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like why that happened. So the 2 families make a big party for the 2, like to unite the family into one. Okay. Then after the traditional wedding, they do the church wedding. I'm speaking about like Christian ones. So we go to the church and you listen to the service and you get married in the church, receiving the blessing of God and the church community members. And then you do the white wedding where it's mostly a party. Okay. And they spray money They
Yeah, you
dance.
said like, but define spray money. Is that like
Like-
really a cash rate?
Yeah, just like that. You go to the dance floor, the bride and groom are dancing, and you
Yeah.
like spray the money.
So that's
No.
like for the new pair, the new couple.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's not like for the rest. You just like spray money. Yeah,
Okay.
congrats. You know.
Okay.
That's
cool.
yeah, but like it's actually 3 weddings. I'm
Mm.
like, damn, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Okay.
And funerals.
Funerals, yeah.
Yeah, we do a party for funerals, not like the
Mhm.
funeral.
So it's like you celebrate the life instead of being like sad about the death. Or...
No, I mean that depends of like who died. Okay,
So
because like
you
if it's
them
like
or not?
no, no, it's just like if it's a youth, it's like an actual funeral where you go to the cemetery and you say your goodbyes and stuff. But when it's an elderly, like in his 90, 80, or even 70, when it's an elderly, you do tend to like celebrate their life instead of like celebrating. I'm celebrated, sorry. So instead of like mourning about the death of the person, so we do like celebrate it. We do wear white instead of black.
Okay.
So
does that also depend on the age? Or if it's just a celebration, then it's white?
Yeah, when it's a celebration, it's white. Because, like, it's an elder person, so he has to live his life to the fullest. So it's just more like, oh, this person was so nice, or this person did this, or I really appreciate that person. So appreciating the family too, and giving them your support. Like, at the end of the day, it's still like a death.
Yeah.
So it's just like giving your condolences and making them feel like you get to know, you knew that person, and you like, we have big meals, and we do spray money then too. So you just spraying money all over the place.
And is that also over several days, or is that just one day?
No, it's one day.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because it's big and it's a funeral, so you can like extend it. So yeah, it's one day.
Okay. And I saw that one of the biggest problems in Nigeria is like organized crime and corruption and things like this. So how is it like as an average citizen to just walk the streets? Do you have to be scared to walk around?
I mean, if it's your neighborhood, I don't think so, because like they know you. But like, I mean, it's a country where they highly or mostly supports corruption because like they'll be doing things they're not supposed to be doing. So they're like, okay, I'll just like slide this over there, and you just like turn your eyes.
Yeah.
So the police got used to that, and they always like, okay, just give me a little bit of some.
Yeah.
And out on my eye, and it's like really normalized there.
Okay, so like if you get pulled over, if you're too fast, you can just pay him a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's most likely what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because they're really hustling, So, I mean, I think they need discipline. Like, that's one of the improvements they should do. Discipline them. But it's just...
Okay. Are there like any customs from your own culture that you miss here?
In Korea?
The food?
The food.
Yeah.
I miss the food. I'm like, bruh, I want some rice, like real rice,
Yeah.
Or fufu. I need to like get full. I really miss the food and the company because I feel like there's a really big difference between European, Asian culture and Nigerian, because like Nigerians are really extroverted.
Yeah. Very outgoing,
Yeah, really outgoing. Like you would be sitting in a coffee shop and you don't know anybody. They're like, oh, come and sit with us. Oh, where you from? This
Really?
and that. Like you get
Yeah.
engaged. They're like talking. You're not the one like always leading the conversation. And when like that was one of my cultural shock. I know they were like reserved and shy here, but like not to that extent. I feel like I'm leading the conversation always with them. Or they just like don't engage. It's just like typical superficial thing. So I really miss the let's have fun, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Europeans are quite like outgoing too, but you don't like actually feel a genuine connection if you don't know that person for a long time. I feel like Nigerians, even though you don't know them for a long time, you just like engage with them.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man,
Yeah.
nice to see you.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty big difference, like in cultures.
Mm.
So like when I was in the US, you really notice like everybody's really nice, but sometimes it almost felt like a little too nice, like it's not real. you
Yeah.
know? And in Europe, I would say there it really depends on who you hang out with, because there's introverts and extroverts, you
Yeah.
know, and there's some people that are going to be really interested in you and going to like try to make a connection, and others who are just they rather sit alone at home and don't speak to anybody.
Definitely.
But I mean, that's in every culture.
Every
I guess,
culture,
you know,
yeah.
you can generalize that.
Yeah, definitely. But it's like I think like Nigerians are really honest. Like they don't have filter.
Yeah, so like
They'll
brutally
say
honest.
you like, child, you've gained weight. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Or how's your studies going? Have you speak to your mother and stuff like that? They just like approach you, and you have to like give the same energy. So that's nice. I miss that too.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that you missed that.
Yeah.
It's really not at all here. I mean, the people, I feel like most people here are very, very nice as soon as you talk to them.
Yeah.
But there is not a lot of Koreans that will like come to you to start a conversation.
Yeah. A curiosity about Nigeria is like when you wake up in the morning, like what do you Europeans do? Like how do
Drink
you
coffee.
approach? No, but how do you approach your parents? Just say hi.
Yeah, basically just like, hi, good morning.
That's it.
That's it.
So even though like wherever you are, you have to use your dialect to greet them in the morning.
Okay.
It's like in my tribe, my mom was like, I just called her now.
Yeah.
She was like, I was like, hi. She was like, is that how you greet now?
Really?
I'm like, sorry, the lie, you know, like it's
Yeah.
like good morning
Okay.
in Bini.
Yeah.
So she was like always reminding me, even like to your elders, if they are from the same tribe, you have to like approach them, like greet them in the morning with that dialect.
Okay.
It's like I always have to say like the lie. Or when you finish eating, you have to say lamoku. That is thank you for the food.
Okay.
So that's like an interesting fact.
That's nice. I
Yeah.
think it's good. That like shows respect and gratitude.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So one thing I was going to ask you is, for me, I'm quite tall in comparison to the average Korean. So whenever I walk in somewhere, they're like, oh, you know, and I feel like stared at a lot, especially like in gyms and stuff. Because I mean, the gym I am here, it's one that's just the closest to my house, because I didn't want to look for another one. I did find a better one suited for my needs, but I didn't want to go like 40 minutes train ride every time I went to the gym. So in this one here, it's just average people who work out, you know, to stay fit. And there's like 2 or 3 bodybuilders, but I'm the only one that, you know, moves some weight. So I attract, like, it's not that I'm like, everybody look, I'm gonna lift, you know. It's just I happen to attract a lot of attention there. And I was gonna ask you, how do you feel here?
I feel tall.
Really?
I feel really tall.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that tall. I'm 167, 168. That's not tall.
Yeah, that's a lot above average.
Yeah, I mean the guys are really like I found them like my height. I'm like that's short for a guy. Or like anytime I'm looking, I'm like, why are they so short? Like I feel like a giant here. You know, like whenever I'm walking, even the girls are so tiny.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't want to touch you. I'm gonna like break you.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Especially with like, have you bought any clothes here?
Oh no.
Yeah, same. Because no, that's not right. I found one shop that had like quadruple extra large.
Yeah.
So I was lucky with that. But in so many, especially like in my gym, there's surprisingly for women, there's like extra small, small, and medium, and that's it.
I mean, I'm not that, like, I know I'm not slim, like, I'm not that tiny like them, because, like, with all respect, they look like a stick. But, I mean, because, like, we got curves, we got, you know, thickness, to say it somewhere. And it's just like, their cloth does not feel, like, back home, I'm a medium. Yeah, I'm a, like, X large.
Yeah.
So it's just like I can buy clothes here. And when a funny fact was like I went to a store and I was like looking for trousers because like I wanted like a new cargo pants and stuff. So they were like, "Oh baby, you are like an XXL.
Really?
We don't have that here."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Damn." Thank you. It's like unique, like unisize. There's just one size. I'm like, okay, doesn't matter. I'll just get it online. So yeah, I feel
it's hard to
different.
Yeah. I think that also has to do with like the beauty standards.
Yeah.
Because like here, most people are. I actually found a fun fact about this that I mentioned in the intro. South Korea has one of the lowest obesity rates in the world. So they are extremely thin. I mean, as you've seen. Yeah. And I think that's just more like the beauty here is to be as thin as possible. I guess that's just what it seems from the outside.
Thin and white.
Yes, white, very white. And,
like Casper.
I actually saw a guy. I was in the gym this morning, and a guy actually put on makeup to get whiter, and that's just something I would say is unusual, like to a European eye.
Yeah.
And in like Europe and stuff, like if we talk about like beauty standards in terms of body type, like Europe and I assume also in Nigeria, then that it's like curvier is better or just like more
muscles.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I just like feel they're more feminine. Like the men are more in touch with the feminine side. It's not like a bad thing. I think it's cute, but I don't do cute. You know, I know like there's a lot of girls that do cute and like they like the men to like take care of themselves and stuff like that. But that's just not for me. And I know I don't feel like the beauty standard because like I'm quite opposite. They want like the whiter the better. I'm darker.
Yeah.
And they want lean. I want curves. You know, so it's just like okay.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah, that's true. It's very different. Yeah. Let's talk about the Nigerian school system. Like how does school work?
I mean, I went to like a private school when I was young, and I know I used to like wear uniform. I think like all of them wear uniform to school because having to wear your own clothes is considered distraction because we are quite conscious about our looks and mostly kids because like kids nowadays are really mean to each other. So I know they wear uniforms until elementary school because and they shave their hairs.
Yeah,
so,
you told me that crazy fact.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
So mostly girls and guys have to like shave their hairs when they go to school because it's like considered a distraction because our hair takes time and dedication. So it's mostly more like a distraction for the kids because like, you know, I want to have a long hair. I want to pierce my hairs and stuff like that. So they don't concentrate in their studies and having like no preoccupation about like all my hair, all my clothes. Give them the opportunity to just like be children and have fun and study and dedicate their time into their future and what they want to do instead of like their looks.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of positive. But if you're like, oh, I don't want to cut my hair, if you don't have like a really good connections with the higher positions, like or your father is the director of the institution, you get in your hair sheriff.
But do you have to like do this yourself, or is this like first day of school, everybody has to like
Everybody.
sit down and then they shave?
No, you have to do it yourself.
Okay.
Like you tell them like I'm starting school and you have to like shave your hair. If it's long, they're gonna like send you home to go and shave it.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was back then.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know like going to school is not like obligatory. It's not you have to go to school. So if you don't pay your tuition and stuff like that, they just send you home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can just not go to school if you want.
Exactly.
Okay.
But like if you want a future for your child, you send them to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know if it's expensive?
For we talking about like European like euros or dollars, it's not that expensive. But like in Nigeria, like they use naira. That's like the money name.
Yeah, the currency. Yeah.
Yeah, the currency is naira, so it's really low.
Okay.
So that would be expensive for them.
Okay.
But not expensive for us.
Yeah.
It would be like 50 euros.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it depends on the school too. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
When you came here, did you ever experience any kind of racism?
No, not directly. Or maybe I'm just like used to it that I don't consider it racism.
Okay.
Because like me personally, as I said before, I was conscious when I was coming here. Because as we said, like I'm not in their like beauty standards, or I'm not like in what they see daily. It's just like I'm different because of my skin color, my hair, or the way I talk. It's just like different from there. I did experience like when I was in like the subway. So we were like standing because like there was a lot of people and stuff. So a mother was sitting down and she actually like grabbed my hair and like touch it. I'm like,
okay,
what? Like what's going on? So I was like, what the fuck? So the child, like the youth, she was like, it took her hands out of my braids and was like, "Man, you can't do that."
The kid said that to the mom.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so that was like out of curiosity.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like, oh, let me grab it or what the fuck, you know? It was like, wow, I've never seen this before. I want to touch, you know, like out of curiosity when like you're in a museum and they say don't touch and you actually touch. So that was like the only thing I experienced, like, but the rest is just like, I think, with all respect, I think like Korean are just classist, like they're racist between them too, you know, so it's not like, oh, because she's black on this, that's why I'm racist to her. They're just like racist to everybody, and they have like the standards, so if you don't have that standards, you can't enter. So my friend did experience like when she was in a school club. So yeah, when she was in a school club, then she was like drinking with everybody, I guess. So there was a guy that came by and I was like, can I take a picture with you?
Really?
Yeah. And she was like, yeah, sure, why? It's like, my parents won't believe I made a black friend.
Really?
So it was like, sure.
Okay.
I'm like, did you take the picture? She was like, yeah, it's just like nothing special. But the same thing happened to her when we went to Jeju, where like elderlies like lined up to take picture with her.
Really?
I'm like, what? Because like it's strange, new for them. So it's like out of curiosity. I mean, I didn't take pictures. They tried. I'm like, no, sorry. But like she didn't mind, you know. So they don't actually like take your pictures, like force you to take the picture.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, can I take a picture with you? It's just like,
Okay.
you're so beautiful, or you're so
Mhm.
different, or stuff like that. She's like, oh yeah, sure, you
Mhm.
know. So that's like the minor racism, because
Mhm.
like it is, but we don't take it like that.
Mhm.
But I mean, I'm not saying there's no racism in Korea, because like maybe there are, but I haven't like experimented, because I've been here for a short period too.
Yeah,
So
of
I've been
course,
like
yeah.
here for like 3 months.
Mm.
I'm gonna like spend the semester here, then I'm back home,
Mm.
and I can go back to experimenting racism back home in
Yeah.
Spain.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
But I guess when you said that they were like asking and they were polite,
yeah,
and I feel like with this it's kind of difficult, but it's if it comes like from a place of genuine curiosity
yeah,
and not like you suck because you're different. It's just that I don't know you or your culture. Like tell me about it. Like
yeah.
if it comes from a place of polite curiosity and they ask and not just like take pictures of you like you're a zoo animal. I mean, that's
Exactly.
very different. So
Yeah,
okay. And
yeah.
how's it in Spain, if I may ask?
Oh, I mean, Spain, it's an international country, let's say that, because like you
Mm-hmm.
can find any type of ethnicity there.
Yeah, especially in Barcelona. I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ones. But the thing is, like, you do experience racism in firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you're walking from at the streets, minding your own business. They're like, puta,
Really?
puta negra de mierda, vete a tu país.
Damn.
Like, fuck black people, go
Yeah.
back to your country.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop stealing from my country then. You
That's
know?
crazy. And they
So
just
they
like
just
yelled at
say,
you?
yeah, for no fucking reason. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, sir, bye. Have a
Okay.
nice day. You know?
Crazy.
So it's just like maybe because I've lived there all my life, so
Yeah.
I got to experience it more.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's most likely from elderlies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, there's
Yeah,
grandchi,
traditionals,
yeah, elderlies there. Or if it's from the youth, like the first thing they're gonna say to disrespect you,
Mm.
you know, when you're having like this, you guys are not agreeing, so you're having like a
Yeah.
discussion or arguing or something.
Yeah.
So the first thing they're gonna say is like shitty black,
Really?
puta negra, or
Okay.
mierda, negra de mierda. That's
Okay.
like shitty black, or just like emphasizing like being black is like bad, you
Yeah,
know?
That's so
That's
stupid.
like the first thing that pops off of their mind.
Yeah, but that just shows that they don't even really know what to say. They just go to
Exactly.
the most obvious thing that
That
is just
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like one thing they do a lot, because like they think they're better than, they can treat you like, oh, we're friends, but like the first thing when something happened
Mm-hmm.
is that, you know? So I'm like, okay, whatever.
Okay. Crazy.
Yeah. But I think like at some point of your age, you get used to it and you just ignore them, because like, you know, like
But honestly, that's
they
just
just
sad.
like,
You shouldn't have to get used to that.
I know. Oh, another like funny story, because like I'm here with a Spanish friend too. So we both from the same university. So basically we went to Incheon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Incheon. No, was it Incheon? No, it was what's it called? Gangnam.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to Gangnam and it was like in a 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
So it was night, so people were clubbing and stuff. So they
Yeah.
went to like a convenience store. So we were there and we were trying to get some drinks and some water and food before like going clubbing. So the man was really rude, like really rude.
The men working there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like, pali pali, like faster, faster, or fast, like
Yeah.
go away, or you know,
Really?
it was like being rude. I'm like, can I have a bag, please? It was
Yeah.
like, no, you know?
Really?
Yeah, it was like, no, go. Because like I've already paid. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, can I have a bag? I can pay for
Yeah.
the bag. Like,
Yeah.
there's no issue. It was like, no, you already paid. Go away.
Was it
you
like
know?
full or like 10 people
No,
behind
it
you?
was like 3 people.
Okay.
So,
But still.
yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
so she was really pissed. I'm like, girl, leave him. It doesn't like his shop. So he was like trying to get us moving, I guess. So there was like Koreans at our back, and they were like speaking in Korean, like trying to like make him understand like, we need a bag, you know.
Yeah.
So they were like, they paid for our bag. They were like, oh, don't worry, it's just rude to everybody. It was rude to us too. I'm like,
Okay.
oh, so it's not like us, it's like in general,
He's a
you
general
know.
asshole.
Exactly. But she really took it personally. But like she was surprised I didn't take it personally, because like maybe I'm used to that situations. So it's just like, oh, it's just a dickhead. He doesn't know about life. It's just like an illiterate, I guess. So it's just fuck it.
Yeah.
Live on with your life, because like when you like keep that in your mind, you're making your life full of negative energy. So just like go and do you.
Yeah. It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
Really, because I think a lot of Koreans, if they went to another country, it's probably another Asian country, and probably one that's close by.
Yeah.
Which means the people look alike. And I mean, I understand it's expensive to go to the other side of the world.
Yeah.
But it really does open your mind if you see completely different cultures. Like if you go from continent to continent and you see how the people are, how they treat each other, and how open-minded you get when you get to see all of that. I mean, you especially know you grew up in Africa, at least to some part, and then you lived in Spain, in Europe, and then to UK, and now here in Korea. So I mean, you're probably very open-minded.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's an awesome quality to go through life, because you're not an asshole.
Thank you.
No, I mean in general, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just if Koreans then just don't go ever out of the country, because I mean that was the same thing. I feel like that's a big problem, like in America as well. Racism is a huge problem over there.
Yeah.
And so I was in the exchange semester, an exchange year in Indiana, which is like Central America, basically. And you really see a difference in the people like living in the center, whereas the people living on the coast. And the people in the center, so many of them haven't even left the state, you know. So they have seen Indiana only, and maybe, I don't know, like Illinois, Chicago also, you know, but they never have seen anything like Europe or Africa or Asia. Nothing. So it's kind of understandable that they're more closed-minded, like you can explain it that way. And I guess it's the same like with people in Asia as well. I mean, from everybody, if you're just always staying in the same place, you live in a bubble. You don't see the world.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do understand like they just don't wanna, because like they're really proud people here. They're really proud people here. So I do kind of understand, like we're the one coming, so we should like respect and set some boundaries, so I guess. But it's just like sometimes they just ask out of curiosity instead of like bad ways. So in America, maybe I feel like they're well connected to the like internet, so they do. If they wanted, they would. You know, like if you want, you would. Like if they were curious or they want to know more, they would like go to the internet, because like they have free access. But yeah, you can even use Google Maps here.
Yeah.
So it's just more like they have limitations, I guess. They're just like getting in the international world now.
Yeah, that's true. Because
So,
I also did an episode with a Korean guy, and he's a very good friend of mine actually now.
yeah.
And he told me that like Seoul is pretty international and has grown like tremendously. Prior to like 40 years ago, it was a different world here.
Yeah.
And so, as you said, they're really at the beginning of the international development.
Yeah.
So they're coming along.
Yeah, we should help them a little bit.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time. It was really interesting to learn about your culture.
Yeah, I had fun. It was fun.
So I started something new. I always add a little quote at the end or some piece of advice.
Yeah.
And today's quote is by Charles Swindoll, and it's life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. So it really is in life like that it's not your fault what happens to you, but really how are you going to deal with it because it's so easy to like make excuses and stay where you are instead of dealing with it and trying to move on.
I like that one.
Thank you.
Not sure.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.